Okay, let's acknowledge ourselves. Bring the energy in.
Yeah.
Let's get down on some course of love.
Yeah.
We're on page 225. And how would you like to hear it? I mean, really hear it.
Lovingly.
Really hear it. Would you like to really hear it?
Soft, hard, straight.
You know you don't have to believe it. You know you don't have to accept it. You know you don't have to welcome it. Some of the stuff is going to be hard to believe because that's why we're here. We're not here to hear regular ways of thinking. Right?
Right.
We're not here to listen to the regular way of looking at things. So that means that you might hear some things that we have resistance to. You might hear some things we don't believe because that's what new means. It means something different from what maybe we thought about. So I'm on page 225. I'm going to start with the paragraph 26.8 that says, "This is what we now leave behind as we seek to become involved with life. I say we because I am with you. I will not leave your side." I say we because I am with you. That means I will not leave your side. I say we because your first involvement is involvement with Christ. An involvement that links us in oneness and glory once again. So being joined in Christ simply means we are linked in oneness and glory once again. Joining in Christ means we are joining in glory and oneness once again. Once again, we're joining in glory. Once again, we're joining in oneness. Once again, we're joining in glory. Once again, we're joining in oneness. I say we because we are life. 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 We are life.
We are life.
We know we must be the same thing at some level because all of us are breathing the same thing. If you take away whatever it is we all breathing, all of us would double over on the floor. So really what's keeping us alive isn't what's in the body. What's keeping us alive is what's flowing through our bodies. So it's the life that we are, not the body. Without our life, the body would just crumble over and fall on the floor. Everybody's really clear about that? That's why most of the time when you go to a funeral and you see a body in the casket, you don't tend to jump all over the body and start hugging it and kissing it and everything else. Is because you immediately recognize that that person isn't that body. You really get it when you go to funerals and stuff like that. If you really pay attention, you look down, you go, that's a shell. That's not that person. We are life. We are life. I say we because we cannot live apart from one another. We can't live apart from one another. Sometimes as much as we wish we could. Sometimes I'm so glad that it can look like I can separate. Looks like I can get away every now and then. I'm glad about that. So our bodies are actually our getaway cars. If I don't like it, I can use my body to look like it took me away from you. Now I'm using my body to join with you. Now I'm using my body to become one with you, which the Course defines as the correct use of the body. So when it says stuff like, I say we because I am with you, that's something that all of us could say to each other. I say we because I am with you. I am with you. You are with me. You don't yet, he said, you do not yet, but will soon realize, but you don't yet, but you don't yet, but you will soon realize, but you don't yet. So if you say I don't get it, what it said, you don't yet, right? You do not yet, but will soon realize that happiness that is ours. We're gonna soon realize the happiness that's ours. Your mind can just not accept that happiness as well as meaning is due you through no effort on your own. He says your mind just can't accept that you deserve to be happy due to no effort on your own. Your mind, our mind needs to accept that it's possible to be happy without any effort. It's possible to be happy without any effort on your own. It's possible to be happy without any effort.
Woo! Is that an effort?
It's possible.
That's it, we
Just
are,
be,
we become
right?
and we are being.
I think what's so deep is just making the realization that it's possible to be happy without any effort on your own.
Yeah, right.
Not even trying to necessarily figure out how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why you kind of begin to get that you're figuring out how to do it doesn't work is because it never has.
Yep.
Yeah.
True that.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I told myself that I could just get an electric train. I remember vividly. I could just get my first bicycle. You know what I'm saying? I just get my first kiss. You know, it was always, as long as I can remember, I have tried to effort my happiness. And I'm constantly coming up with new schemes. And then I realized that most of my grievances came from people not acting out my scheme,
Right.
my plan. They weren't doing their part that I assigned them without even asking them. And that's why I got a grievance. I'll say it again. It's possible to be happy through no effort on your own. And it says, scenes of your life play through your mind that seemingly prove that you're neither inherently happy nor your life inherently meaningful. There are scenes that play through your mind that show you that your life isn't happy or your life isn't completely meaningful. Your reliance on these scenes, which are memories, which I think is interesting, that it defines a memory as a scene.
Yeah.
So when I remember my childhood, I'm just remembering, I'm looking at scenes, right? So remember that in any relationship or encounter with anybody you've ever met in the past, whenever you remember that person or that situation, remember that you're only remembering your reaction to them. We have a tendency to look back and think we are reacting or remembering how they were reacting to us. But that's not true at all. When you look back at the past and you think about any relationship you were in, you're really only remembering your reactions to them.
Wowzy.
And depending on what your reaction was would be the way you would judge that memory. If your reaction to them was you like them, then you think about them and you feel good. If your reaction to them was that you didn't like them, then when you think about them, you don't feel so good. You don't know their reaction to you. They could, the person that you reacted to in a very favorable way, that person could have been reacting to you in a very fearful way. You don't really know how they were reacting
That's true.
to you. So we play these scenes and memories, and so it says your reliance on these scenes and memories must be broken before my words can reach your mind. So looking at things the way you looked at them in the past must be broken before you can hear your guidance. Before you can hear your inner guidance, you got to let go of these scenes that tell you that your life is not happy or meaningful. Before you can hear your guidance, you have to let go of those scenes of your life not being meaningful or happy. Notice it's just telling us what we would have to do in order to know our joy and to know our guidance. It's not saying we're at that level at all. It's not saying that we know how to do that yet. But it's just someone telling you, well, if you want to go up to Peach, you got to go out the door, make a right, and go up there. That doesn't mean you're at Peach yet, right? But that's what we do with the truth. We hear it and then immediately think we should be able to do exactly what we're hearing. And if we can't do it at the time we hear about it, then we beat ourselves up. It's crazy. Just because someone's telling us what to do doesn't mean we know how to do it yet. You know, I don't know yet. I need to know how am I going to hear the voice for God when I got to let go of those scenes and memories that tell me my life is not happy or meaningful. I have to learn how to accept in my mind that I can be happy through no effort of my own. Yeah, I can be happy through no effort of my own.
So much easier.
And then we can have the happiness that's ours. Until, it says, your reliance on these scenes and memories must be broken before my words can reach your mind. How can you tell when the words of your inner guidances reach your mind? Well, these words will begin to replace these scenes with new scenes. How will I know when I've changed my mind? I'm not remembering the same old crappy stuff that makes me feel bad. That's how I know, because of the scenes and memories that I'm playing in my mind. That it says, until that time is upon you. In other words, until you've gotten to the point that your memories have been replaced. It says, until you get to that point that you let go of the scenes, it says, the Spirit says, let my words touch your heart. Even if I can't change my mind yet, this feels good. Oh, I don't know how I could do it with no effort, but these words touch my heart. I'm not alone. I can be happy. See, my life is meaningful. I can get guidance. Let these words touch your heart. Let these words touch your heart. Okay. So who could share one point that they've heard so far that they don't want to forget? Or anything else you want to ask a question about or make a comment about?
I am with you and will not leave your side. And the concept that doesn't just mean God or whatever, it means all of us. Because you're never alone. You know, and then also, let my words touch your heart. Those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just being happy.
Scenes and memories must be broken. So I need to break down the walls that you build up throughout your life, because they're blocking you from where you really want to go.
And then the trip to think that the wall is made up of scenes and memories.
Yeah.
That
It
is
seems so much more.
that is the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
That
Right.
that is the wall.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But it seems so much more. You put so much of your trust of being normal in those scenes
Do we?
to make you feel whole. To make yourself feel whole. But it really doesn't. It takes away from you being whole.
That's my story of
That's
me.
interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. David, are you next?
Yeah, just the whole thing about how without any effort, we can be happy. And I love what you said about, oh, I'll be happy when I get that bike, or I'll be happy when I get this. Well, then you're missing out on what's now. And it's so true, and you forget about that happiness really without any effort can come right now instead of filling your life just with whatever. I know there's a difference between desiring stuff and putting that stuff out there, which I know that's a whole other gigabyte to talk about when you have certain goals and stuff. But it's not, I'll be happy when I write that first book.
Right.
It's being happy through the journey, right?
Which doesn't take any effort because you're on the journey whether
Right.
you like it or not.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that, but without the effort though, I think that's spectacular.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to caveat on what Kenny said is that you have. Oh no, I was listening to what you said. Now I forgot what I was going to say about being open to new ideas and new dreams and new visions and everything else like that. I remember thinking when you were saying that you're replacing the old with the happy and being conscious of it. That's what I remember thinking. Being conscious of that when I'm having a down thought of a tragic memory to kind of replace it. And it started happening and I got all verklempt because I was like, I started remembering, happy thoughts, and it's hard work. I'm such a novice at it. And I remember thinking, I wanted to share that I'm such a novice at that replacement of memory, and I've got a long way to go, but it's a great place to start, to really recognize when you're having a moment of negativity and negative memory, and to kind of make yourself segue into something positive. Okay, I'm not going to think about that. That's history. I'm going to think about this. That makes me happy.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of work, though. You have to
Yeah.
first recognize, which is hard because you want to kind of go into it, and then it's hard work. And I just realized I'm such a novice at it.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
I just got.
But what's so cool about that is that when you do think about those things and memories from the past that makes you feel like you're not whole and happy, the one thing that can be the cool thing about, like you're supposed to replace that with a happy thought.
Yeah.
The happy thought should be that it's gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
It works.
It works.
That's brilliant.
It does.
Like if I remember, I'm thinking about when I was brokenhearted in a relationship that's over. The happy part is
It's over.
That's fantastic.
that it's gone. Just if I just
And
started
then move
there.
on to a next thought.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
You don't have to worry about it. It's a bunch of them that's been waiting.
Yep.
It's been waiting in line.
Just pick them. Pick them.
Yeah, they just ready to come.
It's like
for
going
you.
through a file of comic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that one.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
not that one.
Like it says here. That's right. That's right. And the one thing that we know about our consciousness is that now it's able to retrieve information a lot faster and from everywhere, which is symbolized by the internet, because the outer is a reflection of what's going on the inner. So the fact that we're now in a world where we can get instantaneous information from all directions anywhere means that we are at that state in our own inner consciousness where we can receive new thoughts, loving thoughts instantly from everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
you know, somebody skinned their knee in China, we hear about it in 2 seconds. Think about that. You know, I was like, when I was flying, I made my 10th transatlantic flight. I just got back from in the last year.
Wow.
And I was thinking about when I was flying back, it was like 9-hour flight. And I was thinking, wow, 9 hours to go 4,000 miles.
Amazing.
And when I really thought about how fast that is to go that distance compared to 100 years ago, 200 years ago, when it took 6 months just to go across the country, provided you made it. And now I'm saying 9 hours to go, and so everything is speeding up, everything. So what's happening is that everything is speeding up to the point that we're going to have to let go of the need to figure everything out, because it's going to become too slow of a method, because things are moving too fast. So we're going to have to increase our ability to hear guidance and listen to our intuition, which is instantaneous guidance that's not necessarily based on you reasoning it out. But everybody that thinks they're going to have to figure it out, they're going to be left behind, because things are happening too fast for you to have to figure it all out.
That's right.
Okay, so we're being, that's why I said, let my words touch your heart. In other words, let the guidance come to us, and so we can go ahead and move fast. You had your hand.
Yeah, that's the speed of light. And I remember that.
Well, they doing this thing now where they're saying these scientists said they've broken Einstein's theory, and now they discover particles that travel faster than the speed of light. Which whether you realize or not, if that's true, that's a big break.
Yes.
Big,
Yeah.
big, that shakes up the whole
It
thing.
changes physics.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And because I know I can be, if I choose to, I can be negative faster than the speed of light.
Sure.
Yep.
That's
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There've been times like that.
Right.
It's like, bam, I'm
Right
there.
there.
Yeah, I'm there.
There is no time loss.
No, and so we're gonna get to that point where it's just the opposite. It's like, bam,
I hate when
we're
it
enjoying now.
That's really good.
Jeez, man.
But,
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
you mentioned about intuition, and
Mhm.
it's true. We have to have enough confidence so that when that intuition states it, we have enough faith, we do it.
Oh, well, it's like a muscle. You have to, you have to actually. Good.
Was it good for you?
Yeah, that's it. You know, if I'm a sneeze, I just will make it a pleasure. It's my choice. You know what I'm saying? It's like my ego is resisting. It's resisting all the love. It's resisting all the awareness. It's, you know, it's like I've had so much love in here, and then when I went over there, it's just a part of me. It's just tired of me. Part of me is just had it with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's this other part of me that's like saying, you know, hang on to your seat, buddy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
It's going to
Yeah,
be a
it's
fast ride.
and like that movie says, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And this is it's going to be a smooth ride. And can you handle a smooth ride? Can you handle a smooth ride? So, all right. Oh, yeah.
I want to do a caveat off of what I made your day, didn't I? Anyways, what Dave was he's so cute. So what Dave was saying, you know, and I always taught that, you know, if you're living if you got 1 foot in the future and you got 1 foot in the past, you're pissing on the present. And
Wow.
What did you say?
Say that
if
again.
you got 1 foot, you just want to watch me do it. You got 1 foot in the future. Thinking about 1 foot in the past, you're pissing on the present.
Oh my goodness.
And I find that to be very, very, very true. To not, you know, in other words, not living in the present, and kind of what Dave was talking about. And I've learned that lately, I've always been very very good at that, or bad at that, however you want to put it. I just not a good thing for me. But for today, for instance, I was living in the future and using it to this is kind of a statement, but it's also a question for you. And if this is all right, do you think? I was having a kind of a very fast. I'm a monotasker. I'm not a multitasker. I do one thing at a time and stuff like that. And I was in a multitasking day, and it was getting kind of in it. But I used the light of what was going to happen tonight, as a guidepost, as a beam of light to keep in the front of my head, to keep myself happy and smiling and sane and calm, most of all calm about all this madness that was happening around me. You know, people trying to put their monkey on my back, and you know, and all this other stuff. And I stayed, and I had a really awesome day because I was thinking about the future, where it used to destroy me, it used to hurt me, it used to fail me. Today wasn't a case where it really served me. I just went, but tonight, love, friends, happiness, joy, blah, blah, blah. What's this 150 things you want me to do? Absolutely, I'll do them. Course tonight, course tonight, course tonight. Well, you know, is that a dangerous path to take? I guess is a question, or is that okay to do that? I know one answer is everything's okay.
Does it benefit you?
It seemed to benefit me greatly. It appeared to benefit me greatly, and therefore benefit the people around me greatly. Instead of me biting their heads off, going, "Wait your damn turn," or you know, I'm fine. Like that, I was able to stay calm, assertive, and straightforward and things like that, because I had this calmness and this happiness about thinking about this evening.
What do you say about that? Well, my feeling about it was a lot of stuff was going through my mind when you were talking, but primarily was that the only thing that matters now is what is the purpose, what is it for? So if your purpose was God, your purpose was love, then there's no way there could be a wrong choice or the wrong decision for whatever reason. Yeah. It's not that we're not going to think about the future. It's about what are we thinking about the future for? How are we using everything we're doing at every moment? That's what the Course says you should do. Ask yourself, what is the purpose? What am I doing it for? What do I want? What is the purpose? Well, your purpose was love. And the Course says that your goal is what pulls you past any obstacle or block. The obstacle and block was the stuff that looked like people were trying to put on you, but you were focusing on the goal, which was beyond that, pull you right through it, and that's where you are now. Now you're actually having the experience, and you're no longer in a situation where somebody's trying to put a lot of stuff on you that you don't like. So your goal took you past, pulled you right through it.
I like that.
Yeah, and that's why if you have any obstacle, it just means your desire for what's beyond the obstacle is not strong enough to move you past the obstacle, no matter what the obstacle is.
Sweet.
You know?
Okay.
And so your goal of love, which is the only goal that matters anyway, took you past the stuff that you were telling yourself at that moment, because
Right.
the unhappiness that you were experiencing wasn't really coming from anything that was happening at work. It was coming from what you were telling yourself about the things that were happening at work. So,
Okay.
so the answer was right there with the problem. The problem was what you were telling yourself in that moment at work, and the answer was in what you were telling yourself was going to happen tonight. So the problem and the answer is where they always located, in your own mind.
Yeah.
And so you saw that just by switching on your right mind, that it would take you past the part of your mind that thought it had the obstacle. And so you live the truth. You apply
Cool.
it. And then you got the
That's a good
result.
one. So as long as you're living the truth, it's okay to think of the future and things like that. If you are, it's within the truth.
Yeah, what am I thinking of? It's
Right,
like,
simple.
what is it? Yeah, just reduce it all to everything in the world is neutral. All my thoughts are neutral. Ultimately, you know, like, well, what am I having these thoughts for? What is my purpose? And it also showed you that you could be happy through no effort on your own.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
right.
that was
that was
the
a
part
classic.
that caught my attention.
Yeah. You just chose to look at it another way, and nothing else really changed except your perception. You know, which is which is great. So I'm gonna do one more, and I want to go a little bit further. I saw somebody else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just thinking while Brad was talking that.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie and Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both of y'all so juicy and cute. It's like that would be a distraction in and of itself.
It was. Especially when they changed clothes.
I know.
It was hot. We were
Whatever
the
it
same
takes.
size.
Yeah.
Y'all change thoughts.
I was just thinking as Brad was talking, it's interesting because, we learned, we've heard before, to set the goal and allow the means to be provided to get us there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there thinking, that's exactly what happened with Brad.
Mhm.
But the cool thing is kind of the way he phrased his question was, because typically anytime we dabble in the future, there's fear attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there wasn't this time. And that's neat to see that transition take place
Mhm.
where he's dabbling in the future, it's working in his present,
Mhm.
there isn't fear attached to it, and the means are being provided for getting him to his goal. And it was like a short-term kind of experiment that Brad did for all of us today that was very cool.
Yeah.
Which is interesting too, because really love is outside of time and space. And as soon as he thought about the love that he would experience here, he felt that love right then. So,
Yeah.
it really wasn't in the future.
He broke the
Right.
barriers
He
of
was
time.
really experiencing love in the present moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it was the love that you were feeling in the present moment that
Yeah.
you were projecting into the future that pulled you past the obstacle.
Cool.
But you were having
Right.
the love at work.
Yeah.
You were having it right then as soon as you thought about it.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And it is a tool or method or whatever else like that I plan to use.
And if you
A
don't
lot.
pull it off, it's all good.
But you
It's
put it on
okay.
your speed dial, man.
It's all good.
But yeah, it is on my speed dial.
That's right.
I was gonna keep my mouth shut, but
Great,
now I have
Brian.
to say
Love
something.
that.
I got stuck the other day in basically grievance, which obviously would be about the past. And I was so stuck. I was really stuck for like a whole day. The
A whole day?
Well, till about 6 o'clock.
Wow, it's a 6.
And I was I was so sick of it
Mm-hmm.
that I I don't know what made me think of it, but I started doing gratitude. Like things that just saying like one word, like things that I'm grateful for. Like I was walking, so I was like lakes, trees, mountains, sunshine, and I did it for like 40 minutes because I knew as soon as I stopped, I was gonna go back because it was that strong. Like it had that much momentum on my angst, and it totally worked. Like when I finally, then I went to the grocery store. I was doing it in the grocery store. I was walking around with toothpaste, orange juice, peppers, and it worked. Like I was really happy, and like the next day I had a little bit some more again, but it really shifted me.
Yeah, yeah. And what I like about what you were saying was I bet you was a time when you could have been upset for days and weeks and stuff about it. And now you was like going until 6 o'clock. You know, until 6 o'clock today. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was so cool. You know, yeah. And you saw exactly again the same thing. Only thing was different was what you were telling yourself.
Yeah.
And you just started to tell yourself something. It takes the Course in Miracles says that one of the signs of spiritual awakening is that you will not be able to tolerate minor intrusions of discomfort the way you used to. So actually becoming more awakened doesn't mean you handle pain better. It means you can't tolerate it. And you want to do whatever it takes to be back in peace again. So the fact that you couldn't tolerate it made you go to the answer, which was great. And then you saw it work, which means you'll want to go to it again even faster the next time, and that'll shorten the time. And then it's going to get to the point that it's not going to even be a conscious process. Your mind will start to automatically correct itself as soon as you start telling yourself anything that makes you feel anything less than love. Your mind will, that's what you're doing right now. We're gonna go to automatic happiness and automatic correction. But we won't even have that stage where we're trying to go, now what does the truth say I should be saying now? Right now you're saying it and you're thinking about it, but it's gonna get to the point where you don't even go through that process consciously anymore. I don't feel good. I know there must be another way to look at it because I know that's not the natural state that I should be in. So you don't even figure it out anymore. You just go right to telling yourself what you've already been told to say. It's not even like we have to figure out what to say. We've been even given the perceptions to use. So it's easier. The hardest part of the spiritual path is the beginning, because that's always the hardest part of anything. Is getting your butt started. And some people take 10 years to begin. I feel like I took 30 to begin. I feel like I'm just now really doing it. I even wanted to really, even though I was getting tremendous benefits the whole time. That's what's kind of freaking me out. It's like, as beautiful as the things that have happened to me in the 30 years I've been studying the Course, and I was just really getting to the point that I was willing to hear it and accept it. What the heck's gonna happen as I apply it consistently? You know what I'm saying? And that's the point I'm in now. It's like when you what Brad just said and what Debbie just said. You actually applied it. You got the result. Okay, so what's gonna happen if you keep applying it and keep applying it and keep applying it instead of thinking about applying it, analyzing whether or not you're going to apply it? It's going to be a whole different reality. I'm telling you, we're on the right path. We're doing good, gang.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. We're learning how to be miserable happily.
I like automatic happiness better.
Don't you like automatic happiness?
Yeah, that's much better.
Well, that's what's happening. But what I'm saying about being happy and miserable about it is that when you are in a situation that you don't feel peace, you're able to give yourself perceptions now that help you feel better and handle it better than you would have at another time. So even if you're in situations that don't feel happy, you're not even going to allow yourself to stay in it, even if you're a novice at it.
Just to acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's number one. That's the most important thing.
And then you know what to do, but you don't know how to do it, but you just ask to.
And what's so deep is that the how has already been given us. Yeah, like it's all through this book is hows.
Look, how.
Practice. Acknowledging everybody's remarks because it was so beautiful. It says in the Bible, when you have these, you just counted all joy, but all of you have been walking through it and stating how you do it.
Mm-hmm. There's some cool folk out in here.
Acceptance.
I got to comment on YouTube because I post I video these classes and post them on YouTube, and I get comments, and I get it's emailed to me whenever somebody do a comment, and one comment I just got a few days was they would listen to the Course of Love class and they said, "That's one sentence. I want to meet these people." That was it. That was it. I want to meet these people. Period. That was it.
Cool.
Did you
That's
tell
cool.
them
Yeah.
1665 Rudy Street? Or
Yeah, they know. Yeah, they know how to find us. You know.
Cool.
And
We
then
need to post our phone numbers.
and so it's very gotten very. It's interesting that it's been it just was a year ago that I started posting videos. There's been 100,000 hits.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Yes.
And out of that many months and 600 videos and all kind of stuff, I've gotten only one what you could perceive as a negative comment in a whole year.
Really?
One.
Good.
One.
Great.
And that one was just that I was of the devil and was leading everybody to hell. One little minor glitch. You know?
One out of 100,000.
Yeah, and he had to be a black dude too, you know. So it was really funny.
Oh.
He was a black minister.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Call for
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Well, you know, black folk, especially if they grew up in the South, you know, we get pretty much told that if it's not the
Yeah.
Bible,
Then you're out. Yeah.
then that you doomed.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a lot of open-mindedness about
Mm.
other alternative paths in general in my culture. Because that's not the way we were brought up. And so so I'm not really surprised in terms of, and then it makes sense to me from the perspective of him representing a thought in my own subconscious mind
Right.
based on my own upbringing.
Right.
So in a sense, all he was doing was representing one of my own subconscious beliefs to myself, and then the way I reacted to it lets me know how much I still believe it's true.
Right.
So if I had gotten upset,
Right.
then that would have meant I believed it. If I
Yeah.
didn't get upset, it would mean it was just the past that I was looking at. So he really was doing me a favor in terms of giving me like a reality
I love
check
that.
about where I am in my own belief system.
Sure.
But to be on the internet and have that many hits and then not have that and get one comment, that's a miracle. That's amazing. That's
You think
amazing.
you're on the right path? Huh.
Well, it's
That's
the real
fantastic.
test would be how much peace would I give myself if no one liked what I was doing.
Right.
I'm trying to let go of like I heard a movie star one time say about getting favorable reviews, and he said if I get caught up in the favorable reviews and they mean something to me, then the unfavorable ones will have to mean something to me
Right.
too. So I can't give any more meaning to the good ones than I do to the bad ones, you know. And that I can see the truth of that. That the optimum state of consciousness is a state of consciousness where you keep your peace no matter what's happening around you.
Right.
Not a state of consciousness that's based on you're only going to be peaceful if everything's going your way, the way you think it should go. So when most people say they're having a good day and they're happy, it just usually means the script that they've written for that day, it looks like it turned out the way they wanted it to. So they don't know that that's not real happiness. They don't know that real happiness would be keeping your peace no matter what happens today.
Right.
You know, so that's what I'm working on right now, is to not make my happiness so dependent on circumstances, but at the same time knowing it's perfectly okay to ask for any circumstance you think you'd like to have. So then you're not fighting your desire to ask for things. You know, it's like, it's okay if I'd say, my goodness, I sure would like a Mercedes convertible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I got a problem if I think my value is dependent on that. Okay, because if it's an illusion, then it's no more real or unreal, you know, than a 1955 Volkswagen bus. That isn't any more spiritual either.
Yeah.
And so we've been taught, like, that being spiritual has a lot to do with not allowing yourself to have, and not to allow yourself, it's like, so anyway, as long as you know it doesn't have anything to do with who you really are, you can play with all of it. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. It's supposed to have been a playground. It's supposed to have been a vacation. It's supposed to have been fun. And, then we got here and forgot about it, right?
Right.
And so now we think it's all about fixing ourselves, So I'm telling you, there's nothing about you that needs fixing. Okay. We just need to do some remembering. Remembering that we are valuable, that we are loved, that we can be happy through no effort of our own, that we do have each other, that we got to let go of these old scenes and memories so that we can hear the voice for truth in us. And if we don't believe it yet, then just let it touch your heart. So that's what we need to remember. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to the next paragraph. That was like pretty thorough, wasn't it? I figured we'd finish this book in 2018.
Yeah.
I was still in high school when I started this class.
Great, one book in 18 years.
You all were just little babies when I started. Just really trippy, right? You who struggle to understand what these words say, you who struggle to understand what these words say and what these words might mean, that means you who strive to find the clues to what they ask you to do will find it difficult to cease your struggle and your striving.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to stop struggling and striving. You find it almost impossible still to believe effort is not called for. Now, it's the truth, right? Yeah. For what your heart but wishes for. In other words, when it says no effort is called for, it means what your heart wishes for could simply come true through your acceptance of these words. I'll say that again because that's a powerful sentence. Yeah. So when it says that you find it almost impossible still to believe effort isn't called for, in other words, he's saying we find it hard to believe that what your heart wishes for could simply come true. But then it says how? It says what? Through your acceptance of these words. Now, so what could allow it to happen for me without a lot of effort is for me to accept that it could come to me without any effort, because that's what these words have said.
Right.
All right, so here's another word for acceptance that might make it easier. Side with. In other words, if I will side with this, if I will go, you know what, I'm going to side with the idea that happiness could come to me without any effort.
Nice. Yeah.
See that? Okay, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So
not so extreme.
Yeah, because when you hear acceptance, I'm like, oh, acceptance.
Right.
I got a lot of stuff to do before I can accept that.
Right.
But if I said side with me, because when I was a kid, that's what we said to each other all the time. Whose side you on? Whose side are you on? Are you going to side with that you can have effortless happiness? Or are you going to still side with the idea that you have to struggle? So acceptance has this, what do you want to side with, which is another way of saying, what do you want to be true? Right. One of my favorite statements, and I say a lot of favorite statements, but another one is, he says, even if you don't know how to do it, you still should want it to happen. And I went, wow, that's a great point.
One more time.
It says, even if you don't know how to do it, you still should want it to happen. So at the very least, you should be wanting it to happen, even if you don't know how it could happen. Right?
Right.
So it says, but I am prepared, Spirit says, I am prepared to make it easy for you. I will make it easy for you. I will make it easy for you. I like this. I am prepared to make it easy for you. I will make it easy for you. I will make it easy for you.
It's comforting.
You who have sought happiness without finding it, rejoice.
Grace.
So those of you who are trying to be happy but you're not happy, be happy. That's a heck of a statement when you think about it. Those of you who are miserable, rejoice. Oh yeah, sure. Because my ego is saying to me, my worldly learning is saying to me, I will rejoice when I get the thing that I think is going to make me happy. So it's really kind of tricking us just to say that. Those of you who are trying to be happy but haven't been able to be happy, rejoice. Because what that's saying to us is that happiness is a choice and not an external condition. Mm-hmm. Happiness is a decision.
Yes.
It's not. You'll have a good day today because you decide you're going to have a good day today.
Yep.
You don't have a good day today because everything goes the way you want it to go. You have a good day today because you've decided. Like right now, all of us could decide this is a good day.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what's happened today. Because right now, we're in a peaceful, loving environment. So whatever you went through today, it brought you to this point. It was part of what got you here in a room full of people who are slightly weird, but that's why you should want to be. That's why you should want to be here. Because they're slightly weird. They look like people, but they don't talk like people. Where did they come from? People don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are the part of your mind that you have been unaware of, maybe. That we are your witnesses, that there's a part of your mind that wants to better itself, be more loving, be more peaceful, have things a little bit easier, listen to guidance. That's what we're each other's witness, that there's another way to think in our mind. But will we side with this as much as we side with the old scenes and memories is the question, you know. So it says, it does not require you to define it and put your name to it before it can be yours. Is this not what you have cried about in frustration? Have you not long sought to put a name on happiness? That's a great question. Haven't you come up with a name for your happiness? Yeah, I've had a lot of names for my happiness. Right? Have you not long lamented that if you knew what would bring you happiness, you would surely pursue it. Yeah, if I just knew what would make me happy, I'd do it. If I just knew what would make me happy, I'd do it. Have you not long stated that if you knew what would bring meaning to your life, you would surely do that? Have you not long wished to know your purpose? Why am I here? Why am I here? To be given a goal that would fulfill the longing in you. Haven't you been wanting somebody to give you a goal that would fulfill you? Have you not prayed for signs? Oh Lord, give me a little sign, Lord, of what I need to be doing right now. I need a sign, you know. See, this is funny. I'm holding one form. This is just one form of truth, not the only way you can receive the truth. But I'm like praying for the answer. Just give me the answer. Give me the answer. I'm waiting for the answer to be given me. Where's the answer? It's in your hand, fool. It's in your damn hand. What is the way out of my misery? What is the way out of my misery? You know, this book wasn't made to be a fan. You know, that's what the Course says we do. We misuse the function of things. True. And then that's why we go through pain. And that's why you should know you're misusing yourself by how much pain you feel. That's how you know you're misusing yourself. Because if you're using yourself correctly, you feel more joy or more peace.
Yes.
So it says, read books that have promised you a series of steps to take to get where you want to go, only to realize you know not where that is. Like, I'm studying this book that can give me steps to get where I want to go, except there's one little catch. I don't know where I want to go. These are books to show me how to reach my goal. One little problem. I don't know what my goal is. I don't know what I want. This is a book to teach me how to get to what I want, except there's one little hitch. I don't have a freaking idea what I really want.
You haven't.
Not really. What I'm really doing is trying this and trying that and trying this and
Yeah,
trying that,
right.
and trying them and trying, hoping that after all these little tries, somebody and something.
Right.
He said, you don't really know what you
Yeah.
want. And so I'm going to tell you what you want. You want the peace of God. You want the peace of total happiness. You want the peace of total freedom. You want the peace of total abundance. You want the peace of total safety. What you really want is peace. That's what you, and
That's right.
everything that you think you want is the way you think you're going to get to that satisfaction and peace. But that's the ultimate goal for anything we do, is we're trying to be happy.
Yeah.
We want peace. So he says, well, why don't you just start asking for the peace, and then let the joy and the peace and the happiness create the way for it to get to you.
Wow. Love that.
That's what happened with Brad today. He wanted the peace, and then the way to get to it presented itself to him, and he's here tonight.
Yes.
That happened to Debbie. You know, when she decided she wanted to look at it differently, that was her goal. Then that goal determined her actions. That goal told her what to do. And my goal is to have peace with you, and I'm getting ready to get mad at you. Then that goal is going to tell me, don't attack her.
That's right.
The goal will tell me how. But if my goal wasn't peace, then I wouldn't get the instruction from peace. So whatever you set your goal to reach, that goal will tell you and dictate what to do to get to it.
That's exactly right.
And that's exactly what happens here. So acknowledge yourselves for showing up. For being willing to listen and the perfect yes. Wow, we are entitled to miracles. Thank you for sharing in the love offering with me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome back.
That was awesome.
When we go out into the lab, we'll know exactly what to do. Okay?
Okay, cool.
The main thought we want to leave out of here with is the thought that it doesn't take any effort to be happy. 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 I am with you. I will not leave your side. I'm with you. I will not leave your side. Even if you want me to. Even if you put a restraining order out on me, I will not leave your side. I am with you. I will not leave your side. I'm with you. I will not leave your side. So when someone says, I'm with you, they're saying, I'm not going to leave your side. And that can be mentally. It doesn't necessarily mean you're each other's physical experience all the time. What's another good one that he told us to do tonight? The scenes of your life that play in your mind that prove to you that you are not happy, that your life isn't meaningful. I love this. He says, it didn't say that you would necessarily at first get rid of the scenes. The sentence says, your reliance on these scenes and memories must be broken. Which is a very powerful. My relying on my old way of looking at things that doesn't bring me any real joy. Me relying on that. In other words, to hold my world in place, I rely on my old judgments. That's how I make my whole world make sense. Is all of my relying on the way that I think I learned things in the past. And so we're being told, I'm sorry, if you were to get that everything you are perceiving is a perception that you learned, and that you're just looking at what you've learned, that you're just looking at the interpretations you've learned, you learn to think of me as a man. You learn to think of me as an African American man, or you learn to think of me as whatever you see me as. Had you been taught I was a kangaroo, you'd be saying this is a really cool black kangaroo sitting up here teaching this class. And everybody would have just been cooled out because that's what we learned. So the truth is telling us that that's exactly what you're seeing. And what you've learned may not be correct.
Exactly.
What you've learned, how do you know? because it doesn't give you any true joy, peace, happiness, or
Right.
satisfaction.
Right.
The Course says that's how you know it must not be the truth,
Yeah.
because you're not feeling peace from within. And I'm like, wow, could it be that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. How do you know a lot of stuff the world taught you is a bunch of crap? Look at the condition of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at your condition. And so stop being, the Course says we are sane beings who have learned insane lessons. That we're totally sane. We just learn insane stuff. And we're unhappy because we're trying to make the insane stuff work. And the beauty of all of the breakdown that seems to be happening in so many areas in this world right now is that it's bringing home crystal clear that it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
And that there is going to have to be another way. And those who are moving on the love side, that vibration is going to create more love and support for themselves, even in what appears to be a troubled time. Those who are siding with the fear and the attack and the separation, they'll attract drama to themselves and also feel justified. So again, what do you want to side with? The love or the fear? What the world teaches or what the truth teaches? And the truth is always going to teach you that you are loving, that you're lovable, that you're powerful, that you're not a victim, that you create your experience, that you are supported, that I am with you, that you are never alone, that you didn't create yourself, that there's something greater than you, that what you are lasts forever, that you're not a victim of anything you see. And does that make you feel heavy or lighter?
Oh, yeah.
Lighter.
Powerful.
Oh,
Okay.
God, yeah.
Okay, here's the other thought system. You're guilty, you're sinful, you're alone, you're depressing, nothing goes right for you, you're a victim of everything. What's
Yeah.
going to happen to you is dependent on what political party is in power.
Got no hair.
You know, you don't have no hair. You know, yeah. Now, okay, which one of those belief systems, which one of those belief systems inspire you and which one of those belief systems depress you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
it's really that simple. You know, if it's the truth, I'll say it again. If it's the truth, it's going to lighten you. If it's not the truth of your being, it's going to make you feel heavier. And that's what you do. You're going to run things past yourself to see if it's really true for you. Take the two alternatives that you're thinking about and then ask yourself, which one of them makes me feel lighter? Which one of them makes me feel heavier? Your ego is going to tell you they're both the same. They're never the same. They're never the same. It's one of them. If it's just a tiny bit, it's going to have a little bit more appeal than the other one does to you. If you just, it's just, most people just never take the time to do that because it doesn't take any effort to be happy, but it takes a lot of effort to be unhappy.
Right.
You got to go out of your way to do everything wrong for your peace.
Right.
So you don't deserve that. You deserve total fulfillment, complete and total fulfillment. All right?
All right.
See you next time.
We are happy Earl in our back pocket.
Hugs are available.
Sweet.
Here.
Nice.
Sweet. Sweet.